Hello travelers, Boardman21 here, and today I want to give you the biggest reasons why you should play Last Epoch, or at least give it a chance, because it is well worth the money and well worth your time. You will enjoy yourself. First off, we're going to start with the skill trees. These skill trees are my absolute favorite. There are over 119 of them in the game right now for you to play, with more on the way, with 1.0 just around the corner for the 2 new masteries. Flashing before your eyes right now is all 119 of them. Now here's the cool thing about it. These skill tree specializations means that every skill that you play with has this tree that you can spec the skill to behave differently depending on how you want to play. And it's usually thematic with the class itself that you're playing, but a lot of these skills have skill synergies that can proc other skills. You can change the element type of it to play a different way. You can completely transform the skill to make it behave and do completely different things. There is no limit to how many different ways that you can play in Last Epoch. For me, it really brought back that feeling when you used to in D2 be able to put your points very specifically into different skills to spec every build differently than the way you played before, and that is what I love about Last Epoch. These skill trees are par none my favorite reason for playing, and why I've sunk so many hours into it, and why you should definitely give it a try. The next reason that you should give Last Epoch a try is the crafting system. Hands down, it's the best crafting system that I've ever been a part of. It is not overly complex, it's actually quite simple, and yet at the same time elegant, and can really get your mind going with that theory crafting. It's as simple as just finding the items that you want and then making them even better. For instance, say you found this quiver and it's got the affixes you want and an open slot for another affix. Well, you can pour through all the affixes that you've found through hunting mobs or that you've broken down off other gear, which there's literally hundreds of them in the game, and find exactly what it is you want to put on it. Simply click, and as long as your item has forging potential, you can go ahead and add that affix, and then a whole nother layer is you can upgrade the affixes to even higher levels, making that affix range even higher, making you even more powerful and making that item that you found even better. And then to take it up another notch, they've introduced a system where you can take exalted items like this, which means that you have a level 6 or 7 tier on the item, and then you can go and do an endgame mechanic and combine the stats of this with a unique item that you found. And there are hundreds of uniques in the game to find, which means that you will always be on the look for something that you haven't seen yet, which is really nice, and that is another reason why you should definitely check it out. And coming in at number 3 of why you should play Last Epoch is the godly loot filter in this game. As a loot-based ARPG, there is going to be tons of loot, especially in the end game as you skill things up, and with the Circle of Fortune coming in 1.0, I can only imagine getting even more, since some of the ranks will give you double the amount of items. And with that, you need a loot filter to sort through all of that and see what it is that you want to see. And this game provides an in-game loot filter that's super easy to understand, and yet it can get complex and you can make it as strict as you want. It's as simple as just going from top to bottom in a rule-based loot filter, meaning that an item that drops will start with rule number 1 and work down your list until it makes a match, and if it doesn't, you can choose to hide all of those items. So again, you will only see items that you want to see with your rules, and you have tons of custom ability. For instance, if I'm looking for a very certain affix, I can simply choose what color I want these affixes to drop at. I can emphasize to make it super important. My condition can be by anything, in this case an affix on an item, and then you can choose all the affixes that you want to see, and there are hundreds of them in the game, so eventually you are going to want to use this. But say I'm really looking for movement speed, or I am really looking for critical strike avoidance, or a certain damage type which has tons of options. I click the ones that I want, I click confirm, I update it, and now when I see those certain affixes drop, as simple as that, they will now be colored red and capitalized so that I won't miss them. This is a godly loot filter, as I said, and it is one of the best that I've seen in any RPG, and that is another reason why you should definitely play. And those are my 3 biggest reasons why I think that you should definitely give Last Epoch a try. It is an absolutely great game. I've been playing it for years in early access, and I can't wait for its release of 1.0 coming February 21st. It is less than 2 weeks away at this point, and I'm very excited for it. As always, stay safe and have a good one.